All right, thank you very much, Cam Doza, over at the stage as we now enter the final legs of the tournament, actually, here at the WTS, as we're going to have, obviously, the lower bracket game going down, and it's a game that's actually happened quite a lot in the past.
Just a tad, on the tad side of things. So NA guys might be a bit more used to this than we are. Obviously, we've done our research. We've watched these two teams playing. Of course, we've seen Blue casting these games week in, week out in the on the Go for weeklies, and then obviously maybe in the finals and the monthlies as well. So this is going to be, you know, different stage. Dankening can come back into this game and really cause a massive upset for the Abjured, who we will say maybe even have been causing upset already. Yeah,
they've come for some crazy things in the past at the Dankening against Abjured, but just to keep you updated as to what's happened so far, if you're tuning in just now to the World Tournament Series, of course, we had Abjured versus Orange Logo previously. And oh boy, was that a series you do not want to miss. If you did, go back and watch the VODs of that one once they get released, because the Orange Logo, it was such a close series between the two of them, matched up very evenly, but Orange Logo takes it, and that now puts Abjured in this position here, in the lower bracket against the Dankening.
Yeah, and most people will probably say that the Abjured, you know, they've got a pretty good chance to go back up, and we'll see them again, but the Dankening, you know, I think there's something about these guys that could push them in, maybe. Yeah. I reckon just, you know, something could happen here. You know, the Abjured have been kind of put down a peg in a way.
Dude, if the Abjured came third in this tournament, I think people's heads would explode.
I think you're right. I think you're right. But the Abjured played a fantastic couple of games. Okay, they lost out in different situations, but you could see the support. You could see the teamwork. And I just think, you know, Orange Logo just punished them for their mistakes a lot more. It was about that punishment for those tiny little mistakes, which in Guild Wars 2 is very, very key to taking the next game, you know?
I mean,
it's really big.
It's funny how you say that, because literally a punishment in that previous series was someone died, somebody went into the downstate, and then that's the slight mistake that they make.
Yeah, exactly.
And from that point on, everyone gets cleaved really hard, very, very powerfully. So a crazy, crazy series that we previously saw. So hopefully the Dankening can stand up to their North American nemesis here in the Abjured. They've had some hard times against them in the past. We've even seen things as crazy as, I gotta repeat it, on Fofire, seeing Lords straight away out of the gate to just try and catch them off guard, do something against them.
Yeah.
But, well, Orange Logo showed the way in that previous series. It's just a little bit difficult to replicate that kind of form.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's going to be about that. I mean, there was some surprises there. I mean, Ron was talking about the surprise factor. That's kind of something which helped them over on those last two games that we saw. And the Abjured have kind of been used to many teams. They're used to, you know, they've played the Dankening so many times. They know their weaknesses. They know how it's going to roll. Whereas, you know, they didn't have much team practice against Orange Logo, and arguably over in EU, the competitive top tier is very close between those teams. We've talked about this a little bit today, but not a massive amount. Whereas in the NA, you've got like maybe two teams who are still not massively close in that top tier as an argument, just because the sheer amount of games that Abjured have been winning in that skill cap, where they are the top of their game over in NA for sure, and the world. And, you know, now it's going to be, it's just going to be interesting to see how these two teams come out today.
It's funny how that works, because going into this tournament, I'm just talking about, you know, having capped a lot of esports in the past, of course, I think that if the team that the Abjured were playing now was any other team than the Dankening, maybe they would feel a little bit apprehensive about their chances. But this being the Dankening here, I don't think the Abjured comes into this one threatening too much or worrying too much, because they have such a repertoire against them, because they have that past history that has gone so much in their favor.
And, you know, I mean, these guys are the main guys, like you said, they have been fighting over and over again. And like I was saying before, with the EU, that top tier, you know, they've been constantly, Orange Logo, challenged daily, you know, for the weekly, twice weekly, going up against like 55 HP monks or the French team of Dragunners or whatever name they're going to call themselves the next week. And and tons of other teams that are slowly coming up the ranks in the EU. So they've had constant practice, constant scrims against teams that are, and I don't mean to I'm not putting Dankening down whatsoever, but really, really top-tier playing teams. And Dankening are proving to us today they've got really something to bring to this tournament, and I think there's a possibility for an upset here.
Yeah, there is the possibility. There is. And let's see if they can do it. I mean, again, it's on the stage. It's something that's much different compared to playing at home. Yeah. That's for sure. Even when I was doing a demonstration at an Intel Extreme Masters of just a particular product, and I was on the stage, I was more nervous than I would be off the stage. And it's, I wasn't in a competitive environment at that point. I was just showing someone a mouse. So it's
that's an interesting story.
It does kind of, it has its effects sometimes.
Yeah.
It can have its effect, and being in a competitive environment here can be quite difficult indeed.
Indeed, yes. So we are looking forward to seeing these two teams as we are waiting for them in the map. We had 5 team members from the Abjured over on the red team at the moment, couple coming in from the Dankening here, and I really like the play of the Ranger on Dankening at the moment. It was so effective versus the Chinese team earlier. Really just punished them in so many different ways. And the support that came out with these guys was really great as well. Physics was doing some great jobs at getting those decaps over on the side points as well as also mid. I think Aussie picked up quite a few decaps over on the mid point as well versus the Chinese team. They did a great job. So they're going to be going into this game, and they're going to be happy with themselves with the 3rd place at the moment, but they know that they can push. They can push towards that 2nd spot and even possibly go for the tournament win. I know it's a really outside chance for them maybe. A lot of people are saying this. But before we came to this tournament series, everyone was saying that this is Abjured's tournament.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's not. It's Orange Logos.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, any number of things can happen in the grand final where but at the moment, if Abjured are to get back to the grand final, they have to win 2 series in a row.
Oh god, yeah.
Against Orange Logo, where Orange Logo only has to win 1. That is the format of the dual tournament system.
A lot of pressure.
So, and if you're not, yeah, exactly. But if you're not familiar with the dual tournament system, dual bracket system, obviously, people sometimes look at it and like, well, why do they have to win 2 against them? But obviously, you know, Orange Logo haven't had a loss yet, so the grand finals acts almost as if it's a mini dual double elimination bracket.
Yeah.
So they get that series in hand, which is very important to know, and it gives them a huge advantage going on forwards.
I like this double elimination because, you know, it really does give teams an opportunity to not just play once but play twice, prove their worth, come out here, you know, and get involved and actually have a chance of coming back. It's a great comeback mechanic with that kind of tournament. So I'm pretty happy that that's where it's going to go, because we're going to see a team come back and we get to have a whole day of Guild Wars 2 casting as well, which is pretty good.
Yes, we do. And it's actually, that's an interesting point that you bring up there, saying a whole day of Guild Wars 2 casting, because in a lot of competitive scenes and a lot of competitive tournaments, you don't quite see a full tournament play out in 1 day. So this is an extremely grueling test of their capabilities and their stamina going forwards into the situation. And there we have the Dankening.
That really describes the Dankening right there, right? Just that energy and that fun, that they're being here, just enjoying what's going on.
I forgot to ask Sup Cutie about the Korean barbecue. Thanks for reminding me.
Okay. We got time.
That's true. That's true. All right, so we're just fixing 1 or 2 issues with the PCs over at the Dankening side of things, and then we will be getting into this pretty fast from that point on. Once again, it's a best of 3. It's going to be Forest and Fofire and Kylo if we need it into that 3rd game. The Abjured would rather it go 2-0 in their favor. I'm sure they'll be staring down that kind of result here against a foe and an opponent that they've had a lot of experience against. But at the moment, the tournament has been turned completely on its head here for the Abjured.
It really has. Really, I mean, we both had to kind of stand up and walk around after those 2 games. You know, it's like just the amount of excitement that's going on around here at the moment in terms of what just happened is immense, and you can feel it. You know, you can feel that excitement from all the teams. You know, you kind of look to Orange Logo. I'm looking at right now from the casting desk at the smiles on these guys' faces. They are immensely happy at the moment, and they've got a bit of a break now. That's the other side of things. They can get up, walk around, just go outside, you know, and just have a bit of a break. So it's quite an advantage to have as well.
Yeah, they're already in the money. I mean, everyone technically is in the money when they come here, but going from 2,500 in 4th place to 7,500 for 3rd, and now of course we have Orange Logo guaranteeing themselves at least 15,000 between them, with the potential of 25,000 in that 1st place spot.
Exactly. So just having that in the 1st place must be a bit of a morale boost.
You can buy a lot of Shatterer statues with that, let me tell you.
We changed it over to Shatterer statues now, haven't we?
I can't, yeah, I think so. I saw one before, obviously, and now I want one really badly.
Get in line, mate.
So Yu-Gi-Oh cards have gone out of the window, and it's all about the Shatterer statues now.
It really is, mate. It really is.
On my mantelpiece. I don't have a mantelpiece, but in the future, in my head, I have a mantelpiece.
On a future mantelpiece?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That works out.
It does, it does.
It's okay, we're allowed to talk about the Shatterer. It's Guild Wars 2.
Yeah.
And we are just waiting for a couple of technical issues to sort out. So yeah, hope the guys enjoyed the giveaway that just happened and all the gifts and joy that you just received outside in the crowd. It's pretty nice to get some nice loot as you're coming into this. They've given so much stuff away as well.
Especially the Shatterer, but yeah.
Yeah, the Shatterer, yeah.
Especially that guy. I remember the first time I was doing PvE and you watch the Shatterer as he comes in and lands, and that was one of the most fantastic graphical entrances of a model I've ever seen in a video game.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, that was actually one of the reasons I bought Guild Wars 2 in the first place. That entrance, I'm not even joking. It's that cool.
We're into Heart of Thorns, man. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, true.
It's all the same. You can play it now as well at the booth. It's pretty good.
Yeah, yes you can. And also, after this series, we shall be taking a small tournament break here on the main stage, as we will be having our Stronghold Showcase go down before the grand final, between whichever teams make it there to fight against Orange Logo.
It's going to be, Stronghold's an awesome new SPVP map as well. So, I mean, those guys are going to explain it and go through that, but it's going to be, definitely stick around for that. It's going to be some, some competitive people playing in a map which we haven't seen before. So it's going to be great stuff.
Well, whilst we're getting a few small issues sorted out here, guys, we're going to go to a short break at the World Tournament Series, and when we're back, we're going to have Abjured versus the Dankening.
Keep it 100.
As you can see now, we are getting started, so let's get to it, guys. The grand finals.
Which we have Muffins coming in, the damage going on to Wakey. Wakey's still alive, though. Popping into a water tomb, and here he's doing so well.
Oh my goodness, Sepkity there. They're gonna go for the 1-2 juke. Falling back towards mid, and it's open for the taking here right now.
Toker's gonna try to go for this res, though, taking a big risk. Dench Fanta also gets hit by a trap shot there, too. Looking at Ostrichex, he's trying to go for that res, but it's just not happening. Oh my goodness!
Huge bear cleave to take out Muffins. He falls into the downstate. Everyone on the red team is going down.
North America has done it, guys. Congratulations to the Abjured. They are the WTS Season 1 Grand Champions, and they'll be taking home $25,000 and be the first North American team to win a major Guild Wars 2 LAN.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the World Tournament Series here at Guild Wars 2 PAX East 2015 here in Boston, Massachusetts. I love saying that. It's long-winded, but it's really good. As we are slowly getting going here with the Abjured versus the Dankening. The Dankening had a few technical issues with their setups, and hopefully those shall be resolved very, very soon here to find out who is going to be the winner moving on to the grand final.
Indeed, and this is really, we're powering through the day at the moment. We've had a lot of good games today. We've had some epic Guild Wars 2. We did witness to probably the best games of Guild Wars 2. We said this. This is how we feel immensely
we said
afterwards.
It means it's true.
It is true.
It was
true. We casted it. It happened.
Yes.
But yeah, it looks like they're getting ready here. The Abjured they look really focused now. I really feel like they've had a little bit of a wake-up call here. It's not a wake-up call from, I think they were very, very confident, and which isn't a bad thing, Why not? You've been set up with this confidence. This is the way it's gone. We've won consistently. Why would we think any differently? orange logo really, I mean, just now, they're just excited about this cup at the moment. They're excited about the whole day and how well they've performed. They really think they're going to take this today.
Yeah, we saw them just before. The tournament area is basically where the players practice, is basically right next to our desk. And you know, when we saw them come back here after their victory, a lot of smiles all around. And I don't think going into the next series against Abjured, if Abjured are able to move through, I don't think they'll be shaken too much. Of course, maybe there'll be some nerves, it being the grand final, but if they continue the kind of form that they brought against Abjured in that previous series, they have a really good chance of causing a pretty major upset here at the World Tournament Series.
I think so, yeah. And like, taking nothing away, the Abjured played really fantastically well, but it was all about that punishment that we spoke about before, those pinnacle moments where things happen, and Subcute is wearing a very interesting pair of coloured trousers right there. But it's actually the same colour as his what goes around his neck. Oh my God!
His lanyard.
His lanyard. Wow.
Well
okay. I'm excited too, man.
You're too excited.
Two awesome games, and I can't say lanyard.
They were really, really good. I've come down a little bit now. I'm more calm. I'm more stable here, as we are just waiting here for the Dankening to get fully set up in this next series, as they're just fixing their problems. I believe the issues have been fixed. We're just waiting now for them to join the games and ready up and get good to go. The Abjured have been waiting around for a little bit and are probably feeling a bit more calm now after that loss. It's got to be shaken. I've got to agree with you. It's got to cause a little bit of a shake there, but they'll have calmed down now.
Yeah, exactly. They've had time to calm down, maybe be a bit more collected and think, right, guys, what did we do wrong here? How did they punish us in these situations? What happened? Because they still played quite well. You know, they really rallied together well as a team, especially in those supporty roles where they're really trying to defend each other, no matter who it is, like whether or not they're coming to the rescue of Nos, or even if one of the elementalists is quite low, like 5Gauge will come in. We'll see some extra healing support coming in from Wakey as well. You know, these guys are doing well, and even Magic Toka to a degree, coming in with his damage on the team, on the member that's going for his team, is also in a way kind of support, because you know he's taking away the damage that's coming onto his team. So each member being very, very influential in these team fights and in their 1v1s on side moves.
All right, well, still just going to have to bear with us a little bit here at the World Tournament Series, as Dankening are not yet fully ready to go. And of course, you don't want to rush into a series. That's one thing that's also very important here for the players. So whilst we do have delays, it's completely understandable from their side of things to make sure that they are fully comfortable in an elimination match, especially because one of these teams, once again, is going to be joining Heaven and Earth and going to be elsewhere on Earth because they'll have to go home.
That's very true, exactly. I mean, it's a big thing. They need to be ready and they need to be sorted. All the machines need to be on it so they can actually get what they need to get done today done, and they need to get involved because there's some big cash on the line today. We need to see these teams participate and be on even keel.
Right, so I mentioned that you think that the Dankening can actually cause an upset here and potentially go through on forwards, but let's think about how the Abjured have had their path carved out so far, not only in terms of this tournament, but also in the qualifier as well. The Dankening did fall to them, did fall to the Abjured pretty easily throughout that, and of course 2 teams were to move on forwards. The Abjured had a flawless run there. The Dankening, on the other hand, had to fight their way through a pretty rigorous lower bracket because there were more teams there, because 2 teams actually advanced on from the American scene. So they secured themselves a spot as definitely number 2 in America, defeating teams like Radioactive, the Hail Mary, as well as literally whatever, with a little bit of shakiness there, actually only winning that 2-1 compared to the 2-0s. But I still don't think the Abjured will be too shaken going up against their opponents. It's exactly how I alluded to earlier, with they have so much experience against them, and it could be another walk in the park with them unless the Dankening bring out something pretty special.
If you're going to do it, pull it out at WTS, I guess. Yeah. 2015 in Boston. Why not? Here at PAX East, I mean, anything can happen, and we saw that today. But you're right, why... There is no reason why the Abjured cannot definitely pick up this win. Being just so consistent in America, being so consistent against anyone that they've come up against in NA, it's hard to see them really go out of this, but gotta love an underdog as well.
That's true. That is true. We are British.
We are English, yeah.
We have to give the underdog some props. We have to give the underdog some props, that's for sure.
Always.
That and always join queues and stay in them for a while. That's also very important, being British. And not
divide the
complain
queue up from one
to the other, and join the longest one, of course, during all of that. But anyway, we had a few more members of the Dankening just join this game there for a second. Again, make sure to follow the channel here at twitch.tv/GuildWars2, as there's always more Guild Wars 2 action on the way. Aside from WTS, of course, Go4's, not the weeklies and then monthlies into this, those feed into the qualification games, and then those feed into this tournament themselves. So give it a go, make yourself a team, go and play some Guild Wars. It's actually a really high-level skill game. Like the amount of skill you have to play these professions is quite considerable.
And it's fun as well, and we've actually seen a ton more teams coming in now. With we've got the WTS, we've got the coverage that's giving us. It's really good for Guild Wars 2 SPVP at the moment and the competitive side, because we're getting tons more teams. We've seen some more NA teams coming back from the past, I guess. And same with EU as well. We're seeing some really high-end top-tier competition at the moment, and it's looking pretty good. And hopefully we're going to see this today. We've already seen it today, but with these two teams, I have no doubt that we're going to see some great games here. But one team will be heading home, joining the Chinese team there as well, and he'll be grabbing himself some cash though.
Yeah, so we are just waiting still, unfortunately. We kind of can't really start without the team's approvals, which makes a whole lot of sense, as of course the Dankening still want to fix things. We actually have 4 of their members now in the series, in this game at least.
Could do a little rundown of the builds very quickly, I suppose, while we're waiting.
Yeah, we could.
Normally when that happens, there's already up.
That's true. That's true. So let's jump into the game here for game number 1, and start obviously with the Abjured. Figure out exactly how things are going to be going from their side of things.
Good stuff. So we got Wakey first, playing Dagger Elementalist, of course. We're just going to go over the builds very quickly, just to give you a bit of a recap, really. Dagger Elementalist, running with, of course, the standard utilities there: Blinding Flash, Cleansing Fire, and Armor of Earth with the Conjure Fiery Greatsword. And he's, of course, going for that Holbeck rune as well. Very defensive, as well as being able to produce a lot of might stacking over time, as well as taking away those conditions.
Yep, and then of course we have Magic Toka here, running with his sword dagger build. Of course, it doesn't give as much team fight damage as a dagger pistol build, but he will be looking once again not only to try and get decaps later on, but also maybe try and pick people off if they are to go low in those team fight situations. He never wants to really be in the thick of it, he wants to be on the edge of it.
Exactly, that's pretty much standard. Like, that's just the best advice in the world. But actually, with the SD build, he can dodge a lot more damage, but still, very squishy, like you said, in those situations where there's a ton of cleave. You don't want to ever really be involved heavily in that.
All right, now moving over to Fantaram, of course, who, well, surprise, surprise, it's going to be Dagger Elementalist from him, as he will be complementing his previous Dagger Elementalist in Wakey quite nicely for that support in these team fights.
And then we have Mr. 5-Gauge.
He's going to go for his Celestial Rifle build, and it looks like it's just 2 kit as well as Slick Shoes, so no change-ups from him there.
Not really. And we've got Nos finally in the end. I mean, playing Necro did a good job. I mean, there is that potential to be focused quite hard. I think, Orange Logo really focused Nos. I mean, he was a big main target. It needs to be. It's an obvious thing. And also Magic Toka as well at different points in time in the game. Running really Condi heavy as well with that Rune of the Nightmare with the Carrion Amulet, as well as going for that Dark Path, Path of Corruption build there with the Terramancer, of course, the Greater Marks. So getting a lot of fear off. So he's actually quite good at getting those decaps in different situations.
And then, of course, moving over to the Dankening here, we have Xiaobo Warrior here for Ozzy.
Indeed, so he's got all his shouts here. He's got that in conjunction with the Rune of the Soldier, as well as going for the Celestial Amulet, which can give you a nice rounded amount of stats for your skills. So he's got all the stats there. You can see it on the screen, of course, and he's got for that Fear Me. People are actually running Fear Me a ton more than the On My Mark as well, because it is a useful utility to have to just mitigate damage, to survive, and also initiate a good fight in the off. You know, right at the beginning of the game even as well.
That's definitely true. I mean, another alternative, of course, is balance stance. If you believe that you're going to need protection against some kind of crowd control when you're trying to go for stomps or something like that, but not seeing that as much at the moment. People are just really... I mean, Fear Me can technically do some of the same job as well, so it's a very good use, and it also has that Condi clear, which balance stance doesn't.
Exactly.
But then, of course, going over to Physics, who is playing his Celestial Rifle build.
Yep, Celestial Rifle. He's actually playing the Rune of the Pack version of this, so going for a bit more just blade direct damage rather than the whole bracket, building up that might stacking, building up most of his damage through might stacking, sorry, and opting to go for Power Wrench, which is going to reduce those recharge rates, give you a bit more damage on those tools, on those toolkit skills, of course. So you can get some actual nice damage from things like Pry Bar and then the extra control you can have, and defensive capability of that a bit with that toolkit, which of course is the fourth skill. It's a good block, you know, it really helps in high damage pressure situations.
And then moving, of course, over to Rantian, who's going to be playing his Power Ranger.
Oh, no, he's not.
Oh, did he change? Oh, he changed.
Oh, no, he's not.
Oh.
He's got a Condi Ranger now.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
So he's actually playing Rune of the Crate, which is an interesting one. So in Condi builds, this is really nice. As you can see, we'll just have a look at the full amount of stats. Actually, probably quite a good thing they're not ready right now.
That's all right.
So you can see that plus 20% bleeding duration when you use your elite skill, which is ridiculous when you put it with Entangle as well. And yeah, it's really high Condi. He's got some nice survivability in terms of the passive condition cure that he's got, and also then he's got that Signet of the Wild, which is going to give him stability on activate, so he can actually use that nicely to get some good downs there.
That'll teach me for not checking the build before I'm just powering through the build, so
yeah,
thank you very much,
he's
Deborah.
been playing it like the whole time, and to be honest, I'm kind of sad that he isn't playing it because I was really enjoying it.
No, yeah, so was I actually, so was I, but you got to do what you got to do.
Exactly, and he's gone more tanky. He's gone for the Settler's Amulet there, so he's gone for toughness, healing power, and condition damage stats. Have a look at the quick traits. He's probably got the survival. There you go, survival of the fittest. So remove conditions and gain fury when you use the survival skill. So you've got the lightning reflexes, and you've also got entangle there as part of your survival skills. So when you use that, you get those extra abilities. We're just going to have a look over the rest of the traits just for you here, and you know, it's fairly survivable build. You know, he's gone into the survival tree. That's what it's all about. But he can do a lot of nice condition damage and actually really be effective, really with that entangle, as well as putting a nice amount of fire fields on the point with that throw torch and whatnot. So it's a nice build, tanky, sustainable.
And then finally, well, finally I say second finally, because we're probably going to have another member join very soon. It's going to be Bob Blah on his lovely Dagger Elementalist.
You just said that in one go. I'm impressed, I've got to say.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is a long-winded name.
I do this professionally, Jebra.
I do. You do. That's true. I'm still impressed.
Okay.
I'm allowed to be impressed.
That's fine.
That's fine. I do get impressed. Dagger Elementalist. We've seen this build many times today. Very sustainable, removing conditions, supporting your allies. You have seen the Elementalist running to the aid of many people in their team, switching for attunements to offer up regeneration, protection, things like that, and also might stacking through that fire attunement as well as trying to get the blasts off of the rest of the team surrounding them. Good at 1v1s. We saw Fantaram, of course, pushing far very often. And yeah, that's pretty much the blue team other than Subcutie, who will more than likely be playing a high burst damage Shatter Mesmer.
Yeah, slight difference actually for Bob Blah compared to what we were seeing from Fantaram and Wakey on the other side, who, well, of course they do like their Soothing Wave, but Cantrip Mastery just being taken from him on the other side. So Soothing Wave is actually the normal go-to, but Cantrip Master actually being taken from Bob Blah. I'm a little bit surprised, but you know, it's not a massive difference.
I'm just gonna have a look through these guys so I can show you. Loads of stuff going on there, as you can see. I haven't seen many. Interesting to see. I'm just wondering what the Abjured would be like with a staff element to this instead of 2 daggers. I know it would be a different kind of makeup. I know that obviously they've been playing with this and this is how they've been successful, but sometimes it's nice to have that staff utility in there as well, with the nice pushbacks, the blocks with the earth wall and whatnot. It's just something that just came into my mind. Not sure how they'd be confident about changing up their tactics so, you know, right at the WTS finals.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, it would add something else, which I think even more control. But, you know, they've got they've got the Necro there, of course. They've got the Engineer. They've also got the 2 Ellies who can use that updraft from Dagger as well. So they've got a lot of control and utility in their team, and they're doing a great job. It's just, you know, see if we can get these games underway so we can see them push maybe into the final. I mean, maybe if the Dankening can take it off.
Yeah, obviously we want the games to start as much as you guys do at home, of course. We want to get in there and start casting this game. But for now, of course, we do have to wait just a little bit with some of the technical issues that we have on, I guess, Subcutie's PC, as he's not in the game at the moment. So once those are resolved, we will be jumping into this first game to get things underway, but at least we've had a little bit of time to relax after the craziness of the previous series. Likewise, Abjured had a bit of time to kind of rest up as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's good for them to calm down and for us to calm down. And well, the crowd was pretty crazy. I've got to say it was pretty awesome to hear those guys on the right-hand side of us just going a bit nuts, not expecting what happened to happen, of course, as well. I'm wondering how the
it was the way it happened that was more ridiculous. I didn't expect. I wanted to categorize the start of those games as scrappy. Initially, that's what I wanted to categorize them as. But then I looked at it more and looked at it deeper, and I'm just like, well, it's just such strong punishment from both sides, and the way in which they were doing it was orchestrated so nicely. So it was definitely a series. If you did miss Abjured versus Orange Logo out there, to go back and watch the VODs of once they are released, because it was a fantastic series, and there's the potential that we get it once again later on in the grand final if Abjured moves on.
I hope so. I mean, it's going to be immense later. I mean, we've still got quite a lot of games to play today. We've still got Stronghold, which is, I believe, after these games as well. So there's a lot to look forward to. I'm wondering what the chat was like in Twitch when Orange Logo won.
I know exactly 100% what it would say. I'm sure you do too, in regards to the rivalry between international competition.
Yeah, exactly. But even a lot of EU people didn't have much confidence in them, in all honesty.
Exactly.
So it's like, you know, it's even more of a surprise. So it was immense pleasure.
How much gold did you?
500.
Okay, so that's for the finals, right? Not for.
It's the whole win.
The whole. Okay.
The whole win.
Okay. Bye 500 gold, but we'll see, that's for sure.
Okay, awesome. We have everyone in the map. Oh, whoa, okay. Okay.
Are you sure?
Subcutie is playing on a thief, by the looks of things.
But is that Subcutie?
It should be. Can't see outside. He does play thief as well.
Okay, hopefully
yeah. He's playing DP, but I'm wondering where he's going, if he's going to go Execution or he's going to go to Panic Strike.
Yeah, if he is playing thief here, fantastic, amazing, because I think that's one thing in their builds that would be very, very important. Is the game about to begin without him having any of the talent stop time?
I hope not, because that would be an issue.
So currently he has no trades, and he is being reminded of that in the chat. So we may be restarting.
Hold on to your points. Seize theirs.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
So just as getting the equipment sorted out and just getting him sorted, we'll reset these maps and be right back.
All right, that's fine.
Just wondering if Subcutie.
We're gonna get him after this.
I wonder if he can hear us.
No, we
tell him
can't.
off.
Not with those headsets on, but we're gonna get him.
He's just having a little bit of reaction.
He gets no Korean barbecue today, my friend.
Maybe that's what he's thinking about, rather than putting his traits on. I really want some Korean barbecue
I just
right
want
now.
some bulgogi, man. That's all I want.
Yeah.
That's all. I don't care about the money. I just want bulgogi.
Good stuff, good stuff. He's back. He's with us now. You can see.
All right. So
I'm not sure which build he's going to play. Like I said, Executioner, or he's going to go with that Panic Strike. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes for him.
yeah.
What he should play, maybe it would be quite nice for him to go more. I mean, they're both damage orientated, but I feel we haven't really seen an Executioner thief here today. We've seen the Panic Strike, which is nice.
I would like Executioner. I would.
I like the extra amount of burst that comes out from it.
Exactly.
And even though the Immobilize is so useful in conjunction with other classes, it means he can roam. I mean, obviously getting an Immobilize when he's 1v1 is great, yeah? But it's really nice to combo that up with other classes. But if he's an Executioner, he can really punish some people if they're caught out in the open.
Yeah, definitely. It's if you're going Executioner, once you go for burst, it's Mega Burst.
Mega Burst.
That's what it is. It's Mega Burst, man.
It is pretty much.
It soon becomes very, very difficult to survive when you get down to that threshold.
Did a little sad face there because he's gone for Panic Strike. So we're not seeing any Executioner thieves today.
Okay, then. Well, we're going to be getting into this game very, very soon as WTS 2B is Subcutie here on the Dankening as the countdown has begun for our lower bracket final here at the moment between the two NA teams. It's going to be the Abjured going up against the Dankening here on Forest of Niflhel. Take it away, Jebra.
Indeed, so we are going to see Wakey and Nos going over towards the mine. Wakey is going to break off there. Of course, standard Fenceram is going to FOD, not changing anything up really in this split, which really is a benefit to the Dankening as well because they can just, they will know exactly what they're doing. In standard, that's why Euritian has actually gone for a bit more of a bunkery spec really, which kind of makes some sense. Nos is going to be here they're actually taking out Loblaw right over on the mine, and they'll probably pick up this node very shortly.
Yeah, bringing him down will be very, very quick there for Loblaw, so unfortunately for him he will end up falling. Supply crate there as well, just for good measure overall, but not doing too much.
Yeah, exactly. Getting the first pick up here quite early. And then going over to the mid now, as we see Aussie is just on node. We're going to see someone needs to put a little bit of pressure on 5 gauge as well, just because WTS 2B or Subcutie, who has changed indeed onto Thief, just needs to get out of there to regenerate himself, to reinitiate that damage. It's just started to come in now as well. And they're not doing too badly, Dankening. Not getting any point pickup yet, though.
Waiting for an opportunity maybe to find anything that may fall low on the side. Wakey might be the target, but he's quite far away now for Subcutie to really jump in there and do some damage. 5 gauge becomes the focal point for him. Well, he's going to pull on back, doesn't want to be taking too much of that.
Yeah, we just saw Aussie fall down there as well, just below mid on the roads. Towards the bottom of the keep there, unfortunately. And now over on the Henge as well, it's pretty slow-paced game so far. Euritian is doing actually not a bad job versus Fenceram here as well. It's considerable more regeneration. Subcutie is going to come in here. If he can get some nice bursts onto Fenceram, should be able to initiate that and take him down straight away. But not able to. Fenceram's able to get some nice protection on there. But you've got to watch out here because Euritian's on that point alone and really low HP. We're going to see Nos coming in on the side as well, trying to offer up as many conditions as he possibly can on the node.
Yeah, they got Fenceram low, but he will not fall with the support here of Wakey as well. Dealing with 2 DD Elementalists at the same time in the same place, that's going to be a lot of sustain, a lot of support for one another. Nos going to take some damage there, but get out in Death Shroud and should be totally okay.
Yeah, he's going to plant some more marks down behind him, gain some regeneration and whatnot, trying to remove any conditions that he's got. But now he can actually engage and actually push forward with the rest of his team as the focus really seems to be physics here. Really good for him. Although Nos goes down there, we see the focus coming out from Subcutie in the free pop. We are going to see him being brought back up again, that support that we talked about earlier, and the actual rezzing awesomeness that's coming out from the Abjured is relived there. So good job from those guys. Focus is back onto physics, has obviously been taken out there. We've now got Subcutie is doing a good job of trying to disengage.
Nos going pretty low again, and will end up also actually he was able to get out there for a second.
Perfect.
But chased down and may end up getting brought down completely. He will fall, so that's a nice pickup there for the Dankening.
Yeah, SubQE did a really good job of focusing him. That is his prime, one of his prime targets. It did a good job. And then the rest of the team coming around to support him as he was getting attacked and taken out there, and just getting him back up there. So nice resing job from the Dankening. They're actually starting to come back into this game, but 2-cap in favor of the Abjured.
Yeah, that keep has gone completely uncontested for a little while now, as they're going to have to find a bit of room to maybe go on over there and try and push that with Aussie, as well as Physics maybe moving up there. But, I mean, we already have Magic Toker as well as Wakey waiting in trap for that. Bob Loblob is actually down at the moment, and should try and find a little bit of a way back into this. But Phantom as well will fall.
Yep. Phantom in the down state towards the henge point at the moment. Loblaw is also in the down state, and I'm just wondering when they disengaged and whatnot. I don't think anyone's really going to rally from that over the side. You've got to be careful here, SubQE and this SR.
Yeah, there was a lot of damage actually coming out from completely across the board almost onto the Dankening there, with SubQE and Ozzy actually taking quite a bit of damage. SubQE still in quite a bit of trouble, is going to have to disengage there for a second. Tries to jump on top of Magic Toker, but he is dancing around left and right and will be able to get out of position.
Yeah, using that heal there, the withdraw, of course, to get away, which was really good for him. And the rest of the blue team actually just pushing forward so that, you know, Thief could just disengage. But look at that fear combo with the Torment as well, pushing most of the Dankening players back towards their only cap. And they really need to come back into this game with somewhat of a decap. But look at the Abjured now. Really close to getting the decap there as well. Phantom always pushing that far node. They know that's going to happen. And actually, just as they're starting to disengage, members of the Dankening going down. We can see Retian down now. We're also going to see SubQE going down over towards that henge as well. And also Physics really low on HP. With a Necro on your back at that low HP, as well as another engineer offering up conditions, that's not going to be good for you. And at the moment, Abjured are bringing it home.
Yeah, Ozzy has had to actually try and run out of there, but he is being pursued. He was slowed down. They're actually going to let him go because he's just moving into a location where he's not that useful for a while. So no reason to pursue all the way unless he was very low in that location.
Oh God, they're punishing him now in the roads below the keep. Ozzy is going to go really close to going down. There's nothing he can do. He's got no Condi remove at all, and he's going to be taken out. And some nice damage coming out from those two guys to just drop him down in the roads. And
it's a triple cap now here, Jebro. So this is going to really scale out of control now for the Dankening, who it's anticipated that they don't have the best of times here against Abjured, but a triple cap comes out for them again. Euroteam is trying to fight against Wakey here over at the core, over at the mine even, I should say, to with the roots, and actually brought down Wakey there for a little while with the help of SubQE.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of almost feel like maybe, I mean, he's doing well in this sustained fights, these 1v1s as well, when he needs to stay on point and be quite tanky. I'm just wondering whether or not the Power Ranger might be a nice thing to bring in, so that you've got some more focus damage coming out from their team, you know?
Maybe, but still all three go down whilst all those engagements are going on. SubQE falls, Bob falls, and Physics is now in the down state. So continuous pressure constantly with the two caps that they've already claimed. They could even put on pressure over here at the mines again and just try and go for the triple cap.
Yeah, poor Physics under the area over there towards the mine point. Not having much luck on this map. Really, they have locked it down. They're getting constant kills. The Dankening not able to come into the map with a full team for a good old while now. There's not really much of a regroup happening, and this feels like, you know, those weekly situations where the Dankening, you know, it's fairly standard. We're back to the old school routine here, and actually this is going to be good for them, you know. It's going to give them a little bit of a morale boost. They won the game. They know if they win the 2 in a row, or if they win the best of 3, they can go into the final thinking, you know what, we're second at least now, and we can push forward and we can win this. But I don't think the Dankening are going to give up. I think they're going to give us some more in the next game. But at the moment, in my eyes, and probably yours as well, this is over.
Yeah, probably mine too. I would go with that. This is this is unfortunately a little bit hard for them to deal with, as currently they have basically a 300-point lead on their opponents, and they're not really looking to give up any of these points anytime soon. All of the fights are being pretty much off-node aside from Keep, and you need to be doing more than that, unfortunately, here to try and make a miraculous comeback. But I think they know at this point that they can't make that miraculous comeback.
Yeah, exactly. But they're still testing, and they're trying to get some focus here. I really think some more focus damage from them would be good. Just go for it, you know, you've got one more game, and I really think if they can take out those targets, like actually Subcutie has been doing a great job of picking up Nos on different occasions, who is one of the definite people they want to pick up. So congratulations to the Abjured there, picking up that first game, and one more game potentially, and the Dankening could be going home.
Yeah, they could. That was a pretty tough game for them to start out in this best of 3 as the Abjured showed why they are the masters of America in regards to Guild Wars 2 competitive SPVP. Now we're going to go over to Fofire here to see if they can just round it out 2-0, because right now that's looking how it's going to go. Unless the Dankening can bring out something a bit special here, they may, I mean, they may go crazy. They may go crazy and they may do something insane, but on the off chance that they don't, they're going to have to play an extremely solid game.
Yeah, I mean, I think for them, there's an idea maybe that they weren't going to get as far. They weren't going to get much further than this. But you know, I've got some real belief in these guys, and I think they've done a great job.
They brought out a great game against Orange Logo.
They really did. They really did, right? And I really think that they're trying very hard at the moment. And I want to see some awesome games, an awesome Fofire match here, and they could, you know, maybe we'll see that Lord Rush, maybe in the first third of the game. You know, it's entirely possible.
The Abjured are just like, what again? What is this?
Bring it to us. We want to see this Lord push. Just one that the camera goes over to Subcutie and it just gives us a thumbs up.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, well, before we get into game number 2, let's take a look once again at Fofire.
A throwback to Guild versus Guild from the original Guild Wars. The legacy of the Fofire has teams vying for control of 3 score-generating capture points. Locked away within each team's keep resides the Guild Lord. Killing the enemy team's Guild Lord will grant your team 150 points, potentially swaying the outcome of the match. The first team to 500 points wins.
All right, getting into Fofire now here for these two teams, as currently the Abjured leads 1-0 in this best of 3. One more map, and they will once again move on to play against Orange Logo. And oh boy.
He's got back. Yes.
Woo!
So I was telling him, we were walking around earlier, and I said it's really cool to watch a Power Ranger. I mean, I'm going to get so much backlash for saying that, but it's nice to see that it's possible to have this build in high competitive play. You know, they're at the WTS finals. There's no argument about that, and he plays it very well. It's very formidable in this at the moment, and that's how they picked up some nice team fight killing and over against Orange Logo.
It kind of looks like Sub-Zero in how he looks there.
Yeah, that's true.
If you go back to the front of him.
Yeah.
I see the Sub-Zero vibe going on. He doesn't quite have the freezing capabilities of Sub-Zero, but regardless.
Oh, he's got some chill somewhere, no doubt.
Yeah. Okay.
John, there you go. There's the link. There's the link.
All right. Well, very soon we'll be getting into game number 2 once these two teams are ready to go. Obviously don't want to be rushing into it once again. I want to make sure that especially the Dankening are feeling as composed as possible. This is their last chance. This is their final life here in the World Tournament Series to make sure that they can try and keep their hopes alive, but against their rivals in the American scene. I mean, not even rivals. You could almost go as far as to say they're superiors in the American scene. They've got to pull something out special against the Abjured.
They really do. Really do.
All right, countdown's begun for game number 2 here in the lower bracket final between the Abjured and the Dankening here on the legacy of the Fofire. Let's get into it.
Okay, so split. We'll obviously see Phantom. Oh, hello. Oh, we got both elementals. Okay, we've got Wakey going to mid. That's kind of obvious as well. Phantom going to far push, which is fairly standard. We've seen that quite a lot. We've seen mainly the DPS crew going over towards Quarry, so they would want to finish that up as soon as possible if Blue were crossing, but they're not. They've actually opted to go to mid, and they've actually taken out Wakey very quickly here. A really positive opener for the Dankening.
Yeah, he's going to try and use this form to get a little bit closer to his friends, and there's a Shadow Refuge as well, as Magic Toka tries to pick him up, but that's a lot of cleave going down onto Magic Toka, as he will be pushed away.
Yeah, that's dangerous because he almost got caught out there and he really did pull out quite well. So that's a good job from him. 5Gage was actually doing a good job of just distancing himself and planting grenades around the body, even though and they've actually been able to take out Physics there with the nice Plague Stomp. So great stability there, good move. Ozzy is next on the list, got tons of conditions on him, very close to going down. No support coming to him, and we're going to see him drop now as well.
At the same time, Phantom did go into the down state and is trying to contest for a little while the idea of that waterfall, but it's not going to end up happening anytime soon. So good job there by Bob to bring him away from the fights.
Yeah, good job actually. I'm not sure we missed that 1v1, whether or not that was fully himself the whole time.
I don't think it was a full 1v1.
Because it feels like they maybe committed elsewhere and they actually, you know, that's how the Abjured picked up mid so easily now. We are going to see them pick up that cap and someone might want to cap it. There we go. Just going to grab that node. And now 5Gage doing a good job of trying to drop those slick shoes so that we're actually going to see Physics in a bit of trouble here as we go into his perspective on the node. He's currently immobilized, using that grenade kit to try and put a bit of distance between himself and the other players as he puts down those poison fields. Using a nice, here we go, some slick shoes coming out. Physics really low now as the Abjured are trying to take this point back into their favor. Fear comes out. We can see Magitoka just feared over on the side. The knockback comes out from the Ranger on the side. Will they be able to pick up Physics here? Shadow Refuge comes out as well. He's still low. The cleave is coming out. Ozzy is no res coming out from those guys at all. Too much cleave, too risky.
Yeah, we're seeing, as you can see, obviously SubQT actually rotating back, and he's going to get the decap on mid, which is very, very nice, considering that we saw the Abjured actually spread out across the far nodes from the outlying nodes and trying to contest the waterfall whilst Quarry fell in their favor. So it was open for that decap. It was a good move there by SubQT to pick it up, but Mr. Bob, unfortunately, has gone down.
Yeah, indeed. Just picking up him now over on the waterfall. So now it's actually still really, really close, and actually Dankening are winning. We obviously will see that change in a minute as Euritian is actually over on the Quarry now versus Wakey. A couple of ticks left for them to retake this node. Euritian is not probably the best man to go up against the Elementalist, to be fair. Physics coming in now to offer up some help as well to get that 2-cap possibly. We are going to see currently Ozzy down in the down state as well. Oh, pick him up, sorry, as he was on his way back from Waterfall, I do believe. But solid 2-cap almost coming out now for the Abjured. They're going to pick up mid, and no caps at the moment for the Dankening.
Yeah, and if the Quarry ends up falling in favor here of the Abjured, then this could get very, very sticky very quickly, because right now Euritian is trying to contest this, but it's going to be very, very difficult. Physics as well, trying to find a good spot. At least they were able to take back the waterfall on the other side of the map as Bob's once again fighting against Phantom. And as we've always said, you know, Phantom is going to be okay with that situation.
Bob's doing a good job though, you know, in these different situations. He's a very sustainable character. Obviously, they're both playing Elementalist, Dagger, you know, it's just the way it is.
Look at flailing lightning rounds, firing. This will continue.
But Phantom, obviously, I mean, he's been around for so long now, being in some of the top teams and having so much, just, you know, sustain on the point. That's all about what Phantom's about, and winning most of those 1v1s. Now we're going to see actually SubQT in the distance going for that, going for the waterfall now, maybe trying to just ninja in onto Phantom, take him out as soon as possible. Got to be careful here. Magitoka is on the other side as well. Phantom really low. Physics maybe, almost would be good ideas for him to focus him as well. They need to try and focus target a little better here to try and take Phantom out. Look at the movement of Phantom in the background, man. It's absolutely immense. They're able to take him down right now, but the thing is, Physics has got some nice focus on him, and we saw the team coming to his aid there as well.
Yeah, 5Gage North picked him up very, very quickly. But at the same time, Phantom can see the potential decap and is going back just yet there to challenge SubQT. So there, the decap is a real thing for SubQT, who's looking to move all the way over to Quarry and could even get a full cap here if we're not seeing Phantom move around too quick.
Yeah, now this is a good spot to be in actually, because they've actually got Nos in the downstate. They managed to pull the Elementalist all the way out of that fight, so a lot of their support was gone. So now the sustainability on the map goes down, maybe they can pick up some more caps. Unfortunately, we're going to see Subkey. He's going to have to move off that node, but he is actually going to bring it back in, maybe trying to hold it and trying to get one of his buddies to come over here to try and keep the point. We have seen Physics drop into the downstate. Magic Token downstate as well. He's healing up. He's self-healing. One shot. Also, we keep Magic Token in that downstate, but no one aware. And we've seen also the battle standard coming out as well. So all teams are back up. All team members are back. But Physics low HP as he tries to get out of mid.
Yeah, this is our Ranger over here on the Dankening who isn't being focused down at all. They really want to find Physics, who heads up to the high ground and tries to shell away from up there and do a little bit of damage from that point, but at the same time, still got to keep himself alive. He's not been pursued as far out. They don't want to go off node too much. They really want to try and contest that eventually. And
you can tell, like you said, it's a good point. You know, they're supporting each other well. They're rallying around. They're dropping those water fields to get the healing up as well as the other supportive utilities. And actually, we saw Magic Token getting through there, almost getting that decap over on the waterfall. Sorry, we've seen decap mid as well, of course. Quarry is still, you know, only 100 points. This isn't a complete lockout yet.
Magic Token dropped Shadow Refuge there to try and keep himself alive whilst all of these fights were going on. And a lot of fighting going on at the graveyard as well now, as Nos did end up falling into downstate. He's going to have some support coming to him. Magic Token's going very low as well. He's going to fall. And those are some nice pickups of kills.
It really is. This could be a really big pinnacle point of the game for the Dankening. They could really come back now. It's important that they do finish these guys off quite quickly. Maybe even just hold one of them. They're both actually been killed off completely. Fantaram's low as well. Maybe they need to get this kill quickly. This is something. This is really something that could be good for these guys to actually roll across the map and pick up a free cap.
And Wakey as well. Everyone is on the run. Wakey's going to fall down as we will try and
they need a decap
go back into point. But yeah, if they get a decap, that would be very strong. Fantaram somehow, some way has managed to escape out during all of this. 5 gauge is on Quarry trying to fight off against this, but he did go low himself.
But the thing is, they haven't really, you know, they haven't capitalized on this at all. They've sent 2 or 3 people onto one person. They've not sent enough over towards the Quarry. They've not been able to get that decap. But I think we're going to see some movement here. Uretium is actually picking up that Fire Greatsword. He's actually going to ninja behind Nos now, or is he going to go for a cheeky red? No, it's way too far away to go for that res.
Quite far, yeah. Unfortunately for him, he will just end up bleeding out at this point.
Uretium really giving Nos a couple of problems there. Did a great job at line of sight around the corner as well. Just we're watching this fight kind of happen over on the side. And Nos, if he gets caught out here, really could be punished, actually.
Yeah, a lot of damage is coming in his way. We're seeing actually the rotation potentially, or we're potentially seeing the rotation coming around, but Uretium is going to move on out of there and make sure Nos can't continue to do too much in that location.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, he applied a lot of good pressure, actually. If he went back on him now, I mean, he's used a big cooldown there. Might be worth it. Oh, maybe we'll see the pickup of Magic Token here. It's kind of sandwiched between 2 players as well. I can see Fantaram and also Nos coming in for some defense. Nice drop of damage onto that Shadow Refuge there, as well as he kind of hobbles away in the distance with that cripple. Nice fear comes out as well. Are they going to push over onto this node? Not too sure. Red team picking up the T-cap again of Abjured. Not too bad. Nos very low. Going to go down here. This is going to be, again, one of those situations which the Dankening could really just drop a ton of cleave and maybe even take Wakey out. They got the death there. Nos is out of this at the moment. Wakey's still quite low as well.
Yeah, he had nothing in Death Shroud, so it was really tough there for Nos to really kind of find a situation where he would be surviving. Of course, Physics is on the run to try and find another location to fight against. He got pushed away from the waterfall up to the top that was controlled by 5 gauge pretty well. So, unfortunately, they're not really doing too well to catch up just yet. It's still 2 caps here for the Abjured going up against 1, and no movement just yet in terms of going for any Lords or anything like that.
Yeah, if they can get decap here, they can really pull themselves back into this game, maybe potentially go for a bit of a Lord Rush, and 5 gauge doing a nice job. Look at the amount of CC coming out onto Ozio from the waterfall at the moment.
Yeah, tough stuff. Line of sighting and trying to get out of there. It's not the easiest of things at all when you're going up against that much pressure.
Oh, it's nice though. The Uretium comes in with a nice support in terms of the just. Oh my God. Is he going to get away? No.
Oh, he was so low.
Ozzy, you beast! Look at the state of him. Oh, that's epic. Good job from him, and really good job with Uretium as well, coming in almost like I said earlier with the DPS, which offers up some support because it means that Aussie can retreat, and really good. That was a great move from them, but unfortunately Eurytion doesn't actually disengage in time enough to be taken out by the Necro then.
Yeah, he is the sacrifice for the Warriors' salvation, unfortunately. Is over on Quarry, we're having SubQD as well as Physics trying to push away Fantaram, but Fantaram is holding on strong, trying to even bring down SubQD, who went pretty low. He's sat in the Shadow Refuge to keep himself alive during all of that.
Yeah, good job. At the moment, this really is looking quite strong for the Abjured, but we saw the 2-cap pick up, and unfortunately, we did see again that the nodes getting really lost quite quickly and easily by the Dankening, unfortunately. Keeps happening over on the mid. We've seen another loss, Aussie in the downstate as well as Boblor being stumped out, and at the moment, we are going to see maybe another pickup over on the waterfall, though. Eurytion is actually getting the decap there in the recap. 5Gage trying to come in as well, and actually drops a ton of conditions down on the Ranger from the Dankening there, getting loads of burst condition damage. Doing a great job, able to get that entangle onto 5Gage as well, and if you can punish him for that, oh, good line of sight from 5Gage on the waterfall over there.
At this point, though, they probably even need a triple cap to come back into it. There's only 3:30 on the clock. They might actually go for Law. I mean, that's probably what I feel that the Dankening might do. Try and get towards that 350, but they might not even have time for it. If we see another cap come out from the Abjured, this game could be done very quickly, and there it is, over at the Quarry.
Yeah, this is pretty much over as it is. We've got 25 points left. It's really tough to get a Lord Rush in that amount of time.
Yep.
I think they feel it coming, and we're pretty certain that the Abjured are heading to face off against Orange Logo.
Well, I mean, it's the anticipated scoreline here as the Abjured going up against their foes in America once again have showed mastery of the matchup and really made it hard here for the Abjured, for the Dankening to do too much. They got a lot of points, but it's not enough here as the game will go to the Abjured. GG here, 2-0, and they advance on to the grand final here of the World Tournament Series.
Good job from those guys indeed, and congratulations really as well to the Dankening for being here, for taking part, and for getting some cash money in the end as well themselves.
Cash money, man, $7,500 between them as the five. The Dankening, they probably came in with that expectation, to be fair, as Orange Logo as well as the Abjured are staring down those top 2 spots here at the World Tournament Series. And oh boy, is that final going to be fantastic. We've already had a preview of the final today. Yeah. And later on, we're going to be having that. It's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be immense. We've got so much to look forward to, and next I believe we have Stronghold as well, which is going to be another fantastic thing to see. So yeah, we're really pushing on towards Orange Logo versus the Abjured now, and if Orange Logo perform the way they did earlier, we might see them take it early on.
Yeah, we may do. But again, I think everything's up for grabs. If we see Abjured actually win the first series, of course we go on to a second one in that grand final, and I've got my fingers crossed for that, to be honest with you, because I want to see more games. We're
it's
not
be
really.
Like the close games.
The thing is that we're not going to see that many games of them playing each other in more time, like very soon, of course.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless it's WTS.
The more, the better.
So we need to get them all in as quickly as possible. So we can actually relish them.
So true.
Because that series that we cast before of Orange Logo going up against the Abjured was
intense.
That's
awesome.
And also probably the highest level series or the highest level games of Guild Wars 2 I've ever seen.
I mean, that I've casted, the excitement based around that. I mean, my voice and just the amount of screaming that both of us, just, you know, the intensity and the hype that was based around that. And I'm sure that people felt the same outside in the crowd and also at home, you know. So that's important combination to have to make everyone excited for what's coming up.
Well, I don't know about you, Jebro, but I'm very interested to hear from the Abjured moving on to the grand final.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm standing here once again with Magic Toker from the Abjured. It was a convincing win just now versus the Dankening to get into the finals, but I have to ask, after your tough loss to Orange, what was your team's mindset like coming into this?
Our mindset changed a little bit, man. You know, we thought about some different strats. Definitely took the loss, but you know, we're trying to turn it around here. So.
All right. Well, I just want to ask you one more question so I can give you as much time to prepare for the grand finals as possible. What do you need to change in order to take revenge on Orange and claim the title?
I think maybe change our opening up, or I'm not going to go too deep into it, but we definitely got to change some things, man. Some rotations and stuff like that. Nothing too big, just I think we need to play our game like we normally play, and we'll be all right.
All right, well, best of luck to you. Congratulations, because you have at least guaranteed second place now.